So my name is Caroline, and I'm the Early Careers Talent Acquisition Partner here. We have a few panelists joining us today. Yusuf, our Senior Talent Management Director, and then we have Anusha, who unfortunately wasn't able to make it today. We have Tone, our software engineer, Eve, our iOS software developer, and Chloe, our data science analyst. Anusha, Tone, and Eve are past accelerators, and Chloe is our current accelerator. I'll be going through this deck, and at the end of the presentation, you can ask our panelists any questions, or you can drop your questions into the Q&A box. Feel free to ask questions throughout as we have someone manning the chat as well. So at Experian, we innovate, and there's so many aspects to us with data analytics and innovation at our core. We're both a business-to-business company as well as a business-to-consumer company. From a business-to-business standpoint, we're a credit services company that has the richest insights on consumers. So for example, we have our Ascend platform, which is our industry's most robust analytical platform that provides our partners with information to make the right decisions on consumers. On the decision and analytics front, we deliver custom insights through automated decision software, business intelligence, and advanced fraud protection software. And on the marketing services side, we have the largest databases of non-credit data and rich digital footlight that enables our advertisers and marketers to maximize their ability to connect with consumers. And then lastly, on the consumer side of our business, we're driven to help consumers gain access to credit and achieve their financial goals through memberships, marketplaces, and insurance. Going on to the next slide. We also empower consumers with data and analytics. So we do this through first our credit management business, where we help facilitate real-time credit decisions and connect consumers to lenders so that they get the mortgage or car loan that they need. Additionally, through our insurance business, we facilitate eligible claim checks while also providing a marketplace for consumers to save money and secure the best insurance for them. Most importantly, financial access. We provide consumers access to credit for free and help them understand their financial history so that they can grow and improve their financial lives. And so overall, we put a strong focus on consumer empowerment. We merge data and analytics to facilitate informed decision-making and also help unlock opportunities at key life events for our consumers. Going on to the next slide, you'll see a quick snapshot of Experian here. We're a global business that covers 32 countries, and we just hit 22,000 employees. And because we're in so many sectors, we have all different types of clients. And we actually also just hit 6.6 billion in annual revenue. You can see here that a majority of our revenue, 67%, comes from North America, but we also have revenue coming from Latin America, UK and Ireland, and APAC. DEI is also important here at Experian. We have 44% women globally, which is huge in the tech space, as we know that there's a disparity in women representation in tech companies. And we also have 8 resource groups that anyone can join as well. These employee resource groups are a great opportunity for you to volunteer, network, and get to know your peers. You'll also see here that we have achieved various recognitions, such as a top 100 intern program and a great place to work, just to name a few. And going on to the next slide, I will pass it over to Yusuf for an overview of our Xcelerator program.
Hi, everybody. Glad you could join. So I've been managing the Xcelerator program for the past 5 years, and it's really a comprehensive program to help you develop into the technologist that you want to be. So it starts off with engaging rotations. So we make sure that you're not just doing grunt work, but you're doing meaningful work. You're learning different tech stacks, different environments, different technology languages. So there's an emphasis on your development. So you'll have an opportunity to participate in hackathons, conferences. So you're developing yourself professionally. We also have tools such as Pluralsight, Data Camp. These are learning tools online that we provide that facilitate your learning alongside the on-the-job learning. We also make sure that you have mentors. You can have multiple mentors across Experian, and that really helps you find people who you can get guidance from and also can champion your careers. We also have a program coach, which is my role. So I make sure that you're on track, that you're getting the resources that you need, the advice that you need to get the best rotations, and then eventually into your landing role. You will get exposure internal and external, in the sense that internally we'll make sure that we put you in front of as many tech leaders as possible as mentors, and you get this automatically because it's a 12-month program and you have 2 rotations, 6 months each, so you get to see 2 different environments, 2 different teams in the course of a year. So lots, as you know, the participants, as Tone and Eve and Chloe will tell you, it's fast paced. You have to go from one rotation to another during the course of a year. It's a lot of adjustments, different tech stacks, different access to different software. So it's a lot, but at the end of the year, the idea is that you get a lot of support, but you also get a lot of learning, which equips you to be an engineer at Experian at the end of 1 year. So right now we are recruiting for the engineer or product development accelerator only. We're not recruiting for analytics or product management for this year. So the product development is really, we're full stack to AI, machine learning, to DevOps, to you name it. You get a lot of different, you get to see a lot of different environments, 2 at least, within a business unit. You start off and we have multiple business units at Experian. We're a portfolio company, so that means you have the opportunity to either be in our, as Caroline explained earlier, client services business, our consumer business, or you have an opportunity to be in our business information services business, or Experian Software Services, which is our umbrella software development business unit. So lots of choices to be a great product developer and engineer at Experian. And so that's the program in a nutshell. Again, 2 6-month rotations, 1-year program to become the best product developer or engineer that you can.
Okay, so what do we seek behind your degree? A couple of characteristic things across the board is curiosity, growth potential, being a team player, adaptability, and being self-driven. These are characteristics that we've compiled that we feel makes people successful as an Experian employee. Additionally, when you go into an interview for any of our positions here, some tips on interviewing: making sure you study the company and understand what we do, be able to speak to our business units and the business unit that you're interviewing for, and understanding what they specialize in. So also knowing why you're interested in working for Experian, what things stood out to you about us that were important to you, being conscious of what makes you unique. What about Experian's core values aligns to you as an individual? Cultivating and leveraging your network, Experian from them, trying to see if they can refer you. Lastly, bringing innovative ideas to the table. We always like to hear what you think would be a great idea to any part of our business as well. Going on to the next slide. So this is our hiring timeline. For the hiring timeline for these accelerator roles, we'll start doing outreach and interviews from October throughout November. Our goal is to fill these positions and have offers out by December. So I'll leave this back on the screen for a bit. Make sure you're following our Way Up page and looking at our current opportunities to see what aligns with you. And at this point, let's shift over to our panelists. So if our panelists could please introduce yourself and share your Experian journey. Who wants to start?
can start. Hi, everybody. My name is Chloe Harris. As Caroline said, I'm a part of the Data Analytics Accelerator program. So I'm a data analyst. I am. I used to be an intern at Experian in the summer of 2022. So I had a little bit of experience with Experian before joining, which is why I kind of knew it was the best fit for me. But a little bit about my undergrad, I majored in math and econ, and then I also got my master's in applied statistics. So I thought this program was the perfect fit for me because those are very broad areas. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do career wise. So this was like the perfect opportunity for me to figure that out. Right now, I'm currently a part of the data science team and actually just worked on the new product that launched on Sunday for Experian, which was very exciting and cool for me. I was able to create some dashboards and monitor how the product's doing and easily show everybody how successful we were at launching the new product. Um, yeah, that's been my experience so far. I'll hand it over to another panelist.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eve. I am a nice mobile developer. I currently live in Austin, Texas, and I also went through the rotation program. A little bit about myself, maybe. I was born in Rwanda, then I came to US 2013. I did computer science undergrad at William Penn University, which is a small private university in Iowa. And then I did master's in computer science at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Then fast forward, I graduated by the end of 2019 and joined Experian by the beginning of like 2020 as a data engineer. Then 3 months in, that's when I got to learn the rotation program. But at that time, I had interest in mobile development, but I was working as a data engineer. So when I know that, when I got to know that, in the program you can rotate, then switch teams based on your interest. Plus I had interest already. To me, that was like a selling point. So fast forward, I switched from data engineering role full-time job to going into the rotation program again. Then for my first rotation, I kept working as data engineer for my first rotation, but I was also taking a mobile programming course from Udemy. I paid $15, to learn how to make iPhone apps. Then at the end of my first rotation, that's when I joined my first team for mobile development. Then since then, it's been 3 years. I'm a mobile developer, and I'm happy as I've ever been. And that's about me.
Okay, I guess I can go next. So my name is Tuan, and I graduated from UC Berkeley with a bachelor degree in electrical engineering and computer sciences, late 2021. My focus was more on the computer science side, and I am currently a backend software engineer at Experian. I'm so excited to be here representing Experian today. Especially my business unit is called Business Information Solutions, or BIS in short. That is where I started with Experian. I joined in mid-2022 with a rotation program. It's like Yusuf said, it's a one-year program, so you got through 2 rotations. My first rotation was with a team in BIS, and the team was mainly focused on search and match, and it maintains a huge identity systems. And I got to learn about building APIs and a lot of latest technologies, especially cloud technologies, AWS. I got to work with Spark, Kafka, a lot of open source technologies as well. So, and fast forward, after 6 months for the first team, I moved on to my second rotation, also within the same business unit. And then at the second team, which is the current team that I'm on right now, the second rotation, I got to work on big data processing, where we use a lot of Spark, MapReduce, Hadoop, EMR, all kinds of stuff. And then I also got to work on DevOps, building architecture a little bit. So as you can see, we have a lot of opportunities here for you guys, and I can't wait for you to join the team and grow yourself and also expand your skill set.
Thank you for sharing, Tone, and thank you all, Chloe and Eve, for sharing your journey and a little bit more about yourself. So we can move on to questions now. Does anyone want to be brave, raise your hand and ask any questions for our panelists? We'll also check to see what questions we have in the chat regarding our program.
Yeah, I see a question around, is it remote? Is the program remote? So yes, you can be anywhere in North America for the program. So within the United States, does not include Canada, anywhere within the United States.
Okay, and then we have some more questions here. I'll read them aloud. Does the rotational program sponsor? So we do offer sponsorship for this program. And then when will the applications open for the Xcelerator program? So like Yusuf had mentioned, this year, we are currently focusing on our software engineering Xcelerator roles. And so right now, that position is available and live for those who are interested. So for the Xcelerator program for entry-level software engineers, does taking a referral matter? Will it somehow expedite the process, or is it equal and fair consideration for applicants applying without the referral? I would say to stand out, making sure you do your research, connecting with the right people. And if you could connect with current accelerators or past accelerators, learn more about, their experience. And if they're able to refer you, I think that would be helpful in the application process. And then our program is available for recent and new grads as well. So if you've recently graduated in May 2023, then yes, you'll be eligible for this position. And then what is generally the start date? So for our Xcelerator program, we have 2 cohort start dates each year, one being in April and one being in June, depending when you graduate. So if you graduate in December, you'll be able to start in April. And if you graduate after that, you'll be able to start in June. And then someone asked, has the company started adopting Gen AI with its recent introduction in the tech field? Eve, Tone, or Chloe, do you guys want to touch in on this since you guys work relatively close within the tech space?
Yeah, I think I can start. Yeah, we did. I mean, my answer is not gonna be global because I don't get to know they will explain how we are doing in terms of adapting AI. But I know for sure, for my team, so again, I work for a mobile. I work for a mobile development team for iOS specifically, and for my team, we had recently been using a GitHub Autopilot, which means now we using our IDE. We by integrating our IDE and AI, we are able to get auto generated code. It's right now so far it's just in the beginning. We don't get to see 100 line of code already, but you can easily get maybe 5 lines suggesting you to program, which is the best way to start right now. But overall, over time, the hope is that we're gonna be able to integrate even much better, so that we can be able to solve complex tasks by using AI. But so yeah, I would say we are adapting, but again, I'm saying based on my team. I don't know about the other team as well.
Yeah, I can add to what Eve just said. So regarding AI, yes, definitely we definitely pay attention to that, and we have internal initiative that generative AI. We definitely gonna get started on that. Basically, start with trainings and onboarding new tools, new generative AI tools that can later be used within the business and across teams. Just like you've already mentioned, GitHub Copilot is one thing. That's one tool that we're going to be first experimenting with. Is not really designed to do the work for you. It's more like to help you be more productive, and if you know what I mean. So yeah.
So we have another question targeted for you, Eve and Tone. What previous experience and qualities do you think make you a good candidate for the program? And what did you do to succeed in the role and get the full-time offer?
Oh, that's a good question. So, we come in with a different experience, but when I look back, at least for me, I think being able to adapt, learning fast, because it's a fast changing, rotation. You're only going to be working with a team for 6 months. Then after 6 months, you're going to have to pick up a new team. So technically, being able to learn fast, and adapt to new environment faster, it usually helps. So that was, at least for me, that was very useful. The other thing I think was very useful is, you know, um, being able to make connection, like, making a friends, and at the same time connecting with your managers or even different people to as mentors, because they're gonna help you. If you, especially if you are not sure about what you want to do, finding a mentors will usually help you faster, and you can be able to find mentors. If you are not really that person who is very good at reaching out at the same time also, you know, communicating very well. Um, I think so far that's the most two important skills that I think they were useful for me.
Okay. Thanks, Eve. So thanks for the question as well. I'll try to answer your questions in two parts. The first part is the previous experience, right? How is it relevant to the role? Here at Experience, I know diversity is a really big thing. So we really embrace diversity here, and everybody comes from different backgrounds. Nobody follows one straight path. So, but it's really helpful to have relevant experiences regarding the role that you're applying for. In my case, it's software engineering. So there are multiple ways you can show that you have previous experience, right? For the role that you're applying for, by projects, school projects, personal projects, prior work experience, internships, etc. So yes, having prior experience helps, but the more important thing is your willingness to learn and to adapt to fast-paced environments like Eve's just mentioned. And then the second part of your question is what did we do to succeed in our role and have a full-time offer, right? So you're going to have 2 rotation opportunities, 6 months each. It's really fast-paced. Going in, you're going to have your own mentors, of course, but you're expected to learn quickly and to do a lot of own research and really invest in yourself, basically. Spend time to understand the business processes, and as well as develop your technical skills, because each team is going to use different tech stacks. So for one team, they use this tech stack, and you moving on to your second rotation, they might use a different tech stack. So the ability to learn and to adapt really quickly to the environment is more important than like say, I know this skill and I don't need to learn anything else. So I think that's kind of the tips that I have to be successful in your rotations and to be able to land in your role after the 1 year rotation.
I think I can add one more thing. So in terms of like what we did, to succeed, for the first rotation, I mean, if you are lucky, you know what you want to do, like you have interest and you know what you are interested in already. So it's going to be much more easier for you because, like, for instance, from my experience, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be a mobile developer, but I didn't have experience. So it was up to me to figure out what teams really fit my interests. So if you know what you want, it's gonna, it will save you more time. But again, if you don't know, it's fine because that's why we have the rotation program. Then, so it's up to you. So the thing like you're gonna have to do is either you came in and you know what you want, or maybe you came in and you are not sure about what you want. But in the end, you're gonna have to make a decision, which means throughout the program, you're gonna have to sit down and be honest to yourself what you are really, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I know that's an answer we normally don't like to answer, especially when you're in an interview, trying to figure out like, what you're gonna do in the next 5 years. But once you're in the program, this question is going to really matter the most because soon you're gonna have to pick a team. And nobody's gonna really know which one, what you like except you. So I would say, being honest to yourself and, narrow down your interests, it's gonna be very, very important eventually.
Thank you, Eve
Right.
and Tone. And then this is a question for all of our panelists, so Chloe, Tone, and Eve. What are some of like the tech stacks that you all work on a daily basis?
I think they vary from team to team depending on what project you're using or the task you want to complete. But in my data analytics program, I would say that the most we use is Python, Tableau, AWS. The majority or main ones I believe I use on the day-to-day basis, and Alteryx as well. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in with some other ones.
For me, since I've been doing like iPhone apps for the last 3 years, and for mobile app, we technically, since it's only for Apple, we have like almost the same tech stack that we use for for most of the time. So I right now use Swift, only Swift, then I use Xcode. That's it. And I've been doing that for for the last 3 years now.
Okay. I'll add here. So for me, being through two rotations, during my first rotation, the team was the main tech stack that the team used was basically AWS. And of course, everybody uses AWS now, at least at Experian. And also because we built APIs and also maintain data systems and all that. So we also use Spring Boot. That's the main API framework. Also, AWS EKS for Kubernetes, all kinds of the latest technologies that you can think of. And then moving on to the second team, which is the current team that I work on right now. We do big data processing. And so we use EMR, AWS EMR. And of course, we have to use Spark for that. And a lot of AWS services such as S3, EC2, EMR, so just to name a few. I also have a lot of opportunities to work in DevOps. So you'll see popular names like Jenkins, Airflow, that kind of thing. But I also want to add one point here. It's good that you know what you want to do, just like Eve said at the beginning. But it's also good to keep an open mind and try to diversify your tech stack at early career as possible. So don't limit yourself to just one skill set or one thing. Try to learn as many skills as possible, whether it's API, big data processing, front end, back end. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Thank
So
you all.
one more thing I can add a little bit, Caroline. So in terms of like tech stack, I just want to, assure the candidates, we have many tech stack. It just depends on which team you are working with. So I would say really, like for instance, in my rotation program, I was a data engineer, so I was not using like any of like the tech stack that I'm using currently. So what I'm trying to say here is, I think whatever tech stack you think you are familiar with, I'm very sure we have it in Experian.
Thank you, Eve. And then we're getting a lot of questions about our interview process. So our goal is to start reaching out to candidates who are a fit throughout October and November. And we will send a coding assessment. If you pass that coding assessment, you will be invited to an interview day. And this interview day will consist of a case study, presentation of the case study, a technical panel interview, and then you'll end your day with a quick discussion with Xcelerator members. So hopefully that helps. And then we had a good question here for all of our panelists. Amy was wondering how existing teams integrate rotational members and whether there might be multiple Xcelerator participants within a single team. How much flexibility do participants have in shaping their journey? And can they propose rotations or projects that might be outside the standard program? For the panelists, any areas of improvement you'd identify for the rotational program, anything you wish you had known beforehand?
That's a big question. That's a very good question, but at the same time very big. Can we go through it like, one at a time?
Yeah, okay, let's start. So she was wondering, how do existing teams integrate rotational members and whether there might be multiple Xcelerator participants within a single team? Yeah, Yusuf, you can answer that as well if you'd like to touch in that.
Yeah, usually we like to, it's not a situation where there's multiple Xcelerator participants in one team. We try to spread them out. And so each person has one rotation manager, and the rotation manager integrates the participants into their team. So they're actually team members for 6 months. Everything the rest of the team does, they do. They attend the daily stand-up calls, they pitch it in the work, give the team a lift. So that's generally how the rotation works.
So the question was like how, like the rotation members, they get integrated into the team. So again, so normally when you I'm going to speak from my experience, but when you join a team, they normally, of course, like, the first month, it's going to be like introduction and they helping you, set up your computer and they help you set up your environment and, help you integrate into the team. Then once you get familiar with their tech stack, that's when you actually start to work on the actual ticket, and to make sure like, what you're going to do in a team is very useful. Normally at the end of the 6 months, for most of the team, you are kind of like required to kind of have like maybe like a presentation. It's just like a summary to summarize everything you worked on, and then you also get like to get a feedback from your manager to make sure like if there's anything that you need to change or if there's anything you wish you could have communicated, then you get to address everything. But since you get to interact with your manager every day, you get to ask questions. If you're not happy with the situation, you are free to request a change. Then it's up to the manager to make change. Most of the time, manager will try to help you based on the needs you need. But I would say it's really flexible and dynamic. I haven't seen really any major problem so far.
So basically, in the rotation, you're gonna have a mentor who is usually a senior engineer in the team that's gonna work with you closely, guide you through the process and the projects and all that. But you're treated like an actual team member, like you're expected to do the work and contribute to the team. And that's a good thing. And we do have like daily stand-ups so that you can sync up with the team and you're a team member. So you'll have all the guidance and the work to do.
And then the second part of the question, how much flexibility do participants have in shaping their journey? Anyone can answer that.
I think you pave your own path. I mean, there's only so much Yusuf and your manager can do for you. It's up to you to reach out, make connections, network, learn about what everyone on your team does, what other teams do. Experian such a big company, so it's really up to you to kind of see where you want to like explore. It's up to you really. You get to pick your mentor, you get to pick what mentors if you want to pick more than one. It's up to you to learn different programs, especially if you want to get different projects on your team. You can talk to your manager. So I think it's really dependent on what you want to do and how much you put into it.
Yeah, I mean, normally, so when you come in, you'll be assigned to a business unit throughout your rotations. And then so I work with people, with tech leaders in that business unit and say, well, hey, what are the different teams that need that have a business need for an accelerator participant, and also there's the accelerator participant skills match what that team needs at that point in time. That's how we do the matching for a rotation. So you could be on one team doing a particular type of work, but there's for the first 6 months, and the next 6 months, if you develop, let's say, Python skills. So if we find a team that needs that skill set and you develop your professional profile, that's how we know what you did in your last rotation, what your education is, what you've learned on, let's say, Pluralsight, which is our product development learning platform. So based on that, we match you with the rotation. So there's business need, what skills you have, and of course, the third thing is your own interest, where you want to take your career, and what skills you want to learn, and we keep all that in mind.
Then the last part of the question, so for our panelists, are there any areas of improvement you'd identify for the rotational program? Anything that you wish you had known beforehand?
And for me, it's been almost like, so I did the rotation 2020 to 2021. So it's very likely the program has improved way. It's been almost 4 years now. So I don't know. I can't really, because like at least for my experience, I got a chance. I kind of knew what I wanted already, and I already knew the teams. Where they are. It was up to me to find them. So for me, the program was kind of way more smooth. So maybe maybe different parents might know better, but for me, I think really, for my case, my experience was way more smooth. I can't really pinpoint like something that I wish could have been really got better.
It's been smooth sailing for me so far. I'm just in my first rotation, so I'm only a couple months into it, about 5 months. So everything's been going well though.
From my experience, if I can think of something like can be improved in this program, it's like a product, right? I know Yusuf and the team has been hard at work, keep improving the program for participants, trying to give a lot of opportunities to the rotation participants by connecting with teams across business units in many areas. So there's always room for improvement, but at least for this one, I think the team has done a great job in terms of like trying to create an environment that's very inclusive, and also a lot of opportunities to grow and develop yourself here. So yeah.
So actually, I think I found one. It's not really specifically to the rotation program, but it's just general to even to every new come up, into the corporation world. I think because, like as I said before, I joined the rotation program that was like within like 6 months of my career. One thing I wish really I did better was even now, sometimes I struggle with it. It was to spend so much time on a task, by myself instead of asking for help. Again, as I said, this is not really specific for the rotation program, but just specific for even software engineering learning in general. So, when you join a new team, especially when new, you have this mindset of I want to make impressions, and through that mindset, sometimes you don't, like at least for my case, I didn't get to ask for help faster. then I end up working on a ticket, taking too long to finish it. Yes, being able to finish the task on your own, it's impressive and it feels good, but at the same time, this is a corporation world. You know, they would rather have somebody help you than get more tickets done than just like taking almost a week to work on a ticket by yourself. Because to the end of the day, it's a teamwork. It's not really an individual work, you know. So when I look back right now, I really think sometimes I took way more time to work on my tickets than I could have, because I simply, I was either afraid to ask for help or feeling like, if I do it by myself, it would be an impression to my manager, which was not really the point when I look back.
Thanks, Eve. And then another question. What are the challenges you face on a daily basis as a team, and how do you find a solution for it?
So for my team specifically, like I said, since my team, we build and maintain an iPhone app. So one of the challenges right now we face, almost like, almost like every 3 months, is to keep up with the new iOS release, because we have an upload in the App Store, it's running, but anytime I'll upload release a new iOS version, that means we have to, we as a team have to make sure we are ahead of the release, which means we have to download the beta version for the iOS, then test it using our app and see if there's any bugs we need to fix them. Then we need to fix all the bugs before the iOS version come out. So that's one thing periodically we have to deal with. Every 3 months, every 6 months, that's something we know in the background we have to deal with every time. The other thing right now we struggling with again is keep up with the new upcoming technology, like GitHub Autopilot or new frameworks. That's something, when you work in tech industry, that's something you deal with almost every day, almost like every season, you know. But overall, once you get used to it, it comes natural. It doesn't feel like it's a burden anymore because it's part of the routine.
I just want to add a joke there to Eve's. I like the joke that it's not a bug, it's a feature. So, but in terms of like the challenges at work, um, from a technical standpoint, there are many challenges, right, that you can face on a daily basis when you work on a task. For example, here, uh, not just my team, but at Experian with BIS, we really emphasize innovation. So we try to innovate all the time by developing new systems and all that. And I'm working on a task where I had no knowledge of, or I didn't have the tech skills for that task. So it was a big challenge, and the lack of business knowledge and the lack of technical skills for that task already amounts to a big frustration. And so, but it's about your willingness to learn the business processes behind it, and also the technical skills required to get the job done. That means you have to spend more time and do whatever it takes to really basically get the job done, whether it's spending more hours at night, or picking up a new skill, or setting up team meetings, even sometimes working across teams, meaning you have to reach out to other teams in case you have dependencies on them. So those are the sort of things that you can expect to run into. That's kind of common here. But at the end of the day, that's how you grow, right? So you really invest in yourself, learning new skills, learning all the new knowledge to get the job done. In the case of Eve's, maybe a $15 Udemy course, but in the case of myself, it's spending hours at late night. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that we can expect to run into. But challenges are a really good thing. It helps you, develop your skills.
All right, thank you, everyone. And as we are approaching the end of the session, I wanted to take some time to ask, all of our panelists, and I'm sure there were a lot of different opportunities presented to you all at the time. So why did you all choose Experian despite other offers you received?
Since I was an intern, I did get to experience what the culture was like at Experian, and I would say everyone's so supportive and welcoming, especially like the art ERGs, and like those are just groups that we have, employee groups. Makes you really feel like home. So that was a really big component of why I joined, and along with everything else I previously stated, but just another tidbit there.
For my case, so when I was in school, when I was in graduate school, my former classmate joined the Experian. Actually, she's even staying in Experian now. So when I graduated, she was my referral, and that's how I get to go through the interviews. So the interview process, first of all, I knew somebody in Experian already, and then even the interview process was faster compared to other companies. Like by the time I was doing interview for Experian, I had already started interviews for other companies as well. But surprisingly, the Experian interview process was much shorter, and I got the offer even before before I hear from the other companies. So that was easy decision to make for me. But speaking about that, when I look back now, so joining a company is one thing, and staying in a company is another thing. You know, so it's kind of rated because you can easily pick a company for the first time. Then I think what make you stay in a company is actually the most important part. Because now, if you ask me, why did I stay in a company? It's because right now I know we have at least I enjoy. First of all, I enjoy my work. Right now what I do, I'm doing what I wanted to do. So, I'm happy. I wanted to be a nice mobile developer, and that's what I'm doing. Plus, I like Experian because we have like work-life balance, which means after work is after work. I don't get to what about like after hours. If I close my laptop on Friday, I know I'm not going to open it till Monday morning. So to me, being in a company where my work-life balance is manageable, and the benefits is good, I don't know, to me that's a happy place, and that's where I want to be.
Right. So in my case, I want to agree with Yves there about the work-life balance. We do really have a great work-life balance here. Yeah, don't get scared because I said challenges and late hours at night, but that's my. We do have like it's called FTL, flexible time off for employees. So you're welcome and you're encouraged to take time off from work to recharge and do whatever you need to do to get even more productive at work, really. So that's a really big thing. And then for me, three other big things that I really answer the question, why Experian, right? Why Experian? The first thing is inclusive environment. Really here we embrace inclusiveness and diversity. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. And that diversity really contributes to, making great teams. And everybody brings a different skill set to the table. And that makes, that contribute to great achievements that we've been having. Second thing is supportive colleagues. Team members, managers, they're really supportive of what you do. And you're encouraged to speak up and, propose creative ideas. And they're going to try to support you despite all the other priorities going on. So that's really important because it's kind of, you get your voices heard. And the third thing is a lot of opportunities, not just in the rotation programs, but after you graduate from the rotation program, you get to work in your team, right? Where you get to learn many different technical skills and also teamwork. So those are the main things that really convinced me about Experian, and I am happy to be an employee.
All right. Well, thank you, Yusuf, Eve, Chloe, and Tone for joining our call today and sharing your insights. I really appreciate it and hope this was helpful for everyone who joined our session today. And we hope to see all of your applications come in. And yeah, thank you again for joining our session and hope you all have a good day.